Hello Shamai and welcome to my first video on the FM Scout channel, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are talking about top 10 centre backs in Football Manager 2018. And we have here our little shortlist of our players. You can see them quickly, and then we're going to go in depth essentially into each player. And don't forget guys, the link to my personal channel will be down in the description below, where we are currently doing a series with Everton on the Football Manager beta. So the first one we're going to look at today is Jerome Boateng, who is actually the highest valued player, highest valued centre back in the game at 59 million. I mean, this guy, there's a couple of these players that are currently in their prime, and then there's a few others who aren't at that prime yet and are definitely ones for the future. And this is a guy that you're going to want to buy straight away if you're going to get the most out of him, because he's 28 years old. And we know as soon as you hit that 30 years, you're going to start to deteriorate. And his physicals are absolutely insane. 18 strength, 18 pace for a centre-back, 14 natural fitness, and 17 reach. And I mean, for a centre-back, this guy has got unreal pace, 14 acceleration and 18 pace. And if we look now at his specific attributes for defending, we have 18 marking, 18 tackling, and he's even got 16 long throws in there as well. And if you look at his mentals as well, they're very, very good. Determination, maybe not the best, and his off the ball is leaves a little bit to be desired, and his work rate is a little bit low, but he's got 15 positioning, 14 vision, and you can see here in his career milestones, he's won a lot with Bayern Munich and a lot with Germany, and he's pretty much been a key part to Bayern's success in their past few years. Moving on then from Jerome Boateng, we have Mats Hummels, his partner at Bayern Munich. Again, 28 years old, so this is going to be one of the guys that you want to try and get in fairly soon. He's a ball-playing defender, and you can see it's reflected in his passing, which is 15, which is very, very impressive for a centre-back. Most of you will know who Mats Hummels is. Absolute fantastic beast of a centre-back, former Dortmund player, played a lot of games for Dortmund, has also won the World Cup with Germany as well. And his physicals, not as good as Jerome Boateng. I mean, his pace is 12, but then again, you don't really expect that from a centre-back. Got good strength at 16, good jumping reach, and again, you look at his mentals, positioning 18, that's almost perfect there. And with 17 marking and 17 tackling as well, this guy will always perform for you at centre-back if you can keep him fit. Next up then, we have the first player who's probably not at their peak yet and have a lot left to develop, but valued at 49.5 million, Raphal Varane is going to cost you a lot of money if you want to get him soon. And the problem is he's only going to get better as well, which means that he could end up costing a very, very big amount of money. And we'll start with his physicals again. Good jumping reach at 17 and good strength at 15. Again, really, really good pace for a centre-back. 16 pace and 15 acceleration, meaning he's going to be able to keep up with the quickest strikers in the game. Tackling at 17, passing 14, and marking 17. You can see the good passing stats there because he is actually suited to play as a ball-playing defender. So if your team is a team that likes to play out of the back, then this guy is will be a very, very good signing for you. And with 11 dribbling as well, he's not afraid to run up the pitch as well. Now we have our first Premier League player on this list, and it is the Tottenham defender, Toby Alderweireld. Arguably one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League, very underrated as well by a lot of football pundits, and he has been playing for Tottenham for the past 3 years and has really stepped up, been an excellent player, really matured. He's at his prime now, 28, 29. You're looking at the players in their prime, and this guy's 28 years old. In his prime, he's going to cost you a lot of money, obviously. All these players are going to cost you a lot of money because they're absolutely fantastic players. 15 strength, 12 pace and 13 acceleration, so not the slowest. And you can see all of the greens here, fantastic player. 16 tackling, 16 heading, even a pretty good free kick taken as well at 11. He's got a fantastic work rate and an even better positioning. And with 16 leadership, this is the type of guy who you can put in as your captain. I mean, his mental stats are really, really good. 17 anticipation, 16 composure, and I mean, the only thing he's struggling with in mentals is off the ball and flair. And I mean, as a centre back, you don't really need the most flair. After Toby Alderweireld, we have probably one of the best centre backs in history in Sergio Ramos. 31 years old now, so obviously you're going to need to buy him very, very soon because he's it's going to start deteriorating. And for a 31-year-old with 17 stamina, that is incredibly impressive. And you know he's not gonna wear out too quickly. He's got 143 caps for Spain, and an unbelievable achievement there. And if we concentrate on his particular attributes, 16 strength and 16 jumping reach, and you see 220s heading, so no one is going to beat this guy to head the ball if he's in the area. 20 determination as well. And I mean, 18 aggression, 18 anticipation. You just know that this guy is going to be all around the pitch, running the show for you at the back. And with 18 tackling, it's going to be really, really hard for strikers to get past him. Again, another one who's a ball-playing defender, and with such good leadership at 19, you know he would slot in perfectly as a captain at any club right from the start. Following on from the Sergio Ramos, we're back in the Premier League with Erik Dyer. Now, a guy who can play centre midfield as well, so he's very, very versatile, literally anywhere on the centre, and he can slot in sometime at the fullback as well if you're desperate for cover. Someone who's only 23 years old and has a really, really good amount of potential to him, has a really good chance of getting far in this game. And we can see that he's only 23 in some of his stats as well, not the flashy stats that the players like Sergio Ramos have. 16 acceleration and 15 pace, again, a really pacey centre-back with good strength at 14 and good natural fitness at 14 as well. His technicals, while he's only 23, 15 marking, 15 tackling, and even 12 free kick taking. Another one who could probably slot in as a ball-playing defender with passing like 14 and a good first touch with 14 as well. And he has 15 determination, which means you know he's determined to improve, lacking on flair and off the ball, but like we've said, that's not really something you look for in a centre-back. Great positioning at 17 and a really, really good worker as well. You know he's going to run his little socks off for your team wherever you play him. Our first player from the Italian league now, another stalwart of football, is Leonardo Bonucci, who's recently signed for AC Milan from Juventus, so you might struggle to get him in the first season, but this is another guy who has got absolutely insane stats, and his physicals, all right, they're going to start deteriorating because he's 30, and you might be able to pick him up in a couple of years on cheap, maybe on a free, depending on how well he does for AC Milan in game. 15 strength and 14 jumping reach then, with 16 balance means you know that in the box, if the ball comes in, he's got 14 heading and he's going to get it away. Another one who's slot in as a ball-playing defender with 17 marking and 17 passing. You know he's got the skills to pass it about the back and make sure that he sticks a foot in when he needs to, with his 16 tackling as well. Anticipation at 20 and leadership at 19. You just know this guy, all of these guys in this list are perfect for captains. I don't know what it is, but centre-backs, the really, really good centre-backs all tend to have really good leadership as well. So all of these guys in this list would perfectly slot in as a captain. Now we're at the oldest player in this list, and it is Thiago Silva, the big man at the back for PSG. £225,000 per week he's getting paid, so the fee might not be much, but the wages is what's going to get you struggle if you do decide to sign this player. He's won a lot with PSG, as you can see there with his career milestones. French Cup, Coupe League, French Cup, League One, and all that good stuff. And if we look at his stats, 15 strength and 13 jumping reach, and again another one with a good pacey 14 as well. 16 tackling and 17 marking with 16 heading as well means now if the ball's coming into the box, this guy is going to be there to head it away. Another one with good passing at 14, so he's always going to slot in as a ball-playing defender if you need it. Again, 14 leadership, not as good as the others, but in an average team, like in an average Premier League team, 14 leadership is going to be really, really useful. 16 aggression and 16 anticipation as well means this guy knows what he's doing, knows where he's supposed to be, especially with his 16 positioning. Now we're on to the final two players in this list. Both youngsters, and the first one we're going to talk about is Victor Lindelof. Now, again, this is a guy who's just signed for Manchester United, so you may struggle to get him in your first season. Valued at 22.5 million, but he's going to cost you a lot more than that. But at 22 years old, he's got some fantastic stats. I mean, 13 strength, 16 natural fitness, and those are only going to get better because he's just 22 years of age. Look at his determination, 14 determination, which means you know he's going to improve. He's actually got really good flair and off the ball stats as well. for a centre-back, which is something we haven't seen in the other guys. Really good work rate as well, and good teamwork, which means you know he's going to fit into your side very, very well. And another one who can play as a ball-playing defender. He's got 14 passing, 14 tackling, and 11 heading. Heading is a little bit, that's where he lacks a little bit, and he's not the tallest player as well. So that's something that he really, really needs to improve on. And something even better with this guy is he can play in a number of positions. He can slot in just as easily at right back as he can centre back, and he can also play in the defence as a defensive midfielder as well. So as we move on to the final player, someone who you probably might not think would make this list, and you could probably get him a lot cheaper than the other players because he plays for Everton. And if you've got Champions League football, it might be easier to tempt him. He has just signed for Everton in real life, so again, you might struggle to get him in your first season. Valued at 28 million, and his wages aren't the worst as well, only £60,000 a week, which means you could probably get him at most decent Champions League clubs if you can tempt him with that Champions League football. 15 strength and 16 pace, 16 acceleration as well, which means he's got a lot of pace about him. He can keep up with the fastest strikers in the league. 14 work rate, and with a determination of 17, you know this guy is going to improve because he's determined to play well, and he's got 16 teamwork as well, which means you can slot in very, very nicely into your team straight away. Technical, not the best. His crossing, dribbling, and obviously finishing are a little bit poor compared to the other guys who, even as centre-backs, had decent stats there. He's pretty good at long throws as well, and you might want to make sure that he doesn't take any long shots because they are very, very poor. 14 marking and then 14 tackling. So he's something to improve on, but at 24 years of age, he has got a lot of time to improve. And if you give him the right training and the right game time, he will become one of the best centre-backs in the game. So I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. It's just a quick little look at my top 10, my personal top 10 centre-backs in Football Manager 18. Here they are again if you want to see them. Don't forget, guys, if you like the video and want to see more, please subscribe. And if you have any other suggestions for your favourite centre-back, please leave a comment down below. I hope you enjoyed.